I feel like I always start the weekly vlogs on this couch. Hello, welcome back to the start of another weekly vlog. It is Saturday, March 2nd, and I've had a pretty productive morning so far. Given that Sam and I stayed up a little bit later than intended, we actually got up pretty early, but then we did spend the morning sort of just hanging out together and watching more Game of Thrones. I feel like that's going to consistently be a theme in these weekly vlogs until we get through the show, and we're like halfway through season 2 right now. Also, you can hear the mailman in the background slamming all of the mailboxes, so we're just gonna keep moving. So, and then Sam left to work. He usually works on Saturdays, and so I cleaned up the apartment a little bit, and then I just sat down and power edited for 2 hours. I literally was like, you have 2 hours, you're gonna sit and edit, and that's also what I put in my hourly planner. By the time this video goes live, I will have had to make a decision on what I did for my plan with me, whether I did an hourly or not, so you can go check that out and see if I did the hourly or if I chickened out and stuck with the vertical for the week. So I powered through, I finished the weekly vlog, and then I edited Monday's video, and now I'm gonna start my Yoga with Adriene journey. So I talked about this in my goals video for March. It was like the February recap, March goals. And I said that I wanted to do the Yoga with Adriene, the series from January. So she did it in the month of January, and if you did it in real time, it was for 30 days in January, and it's called Dedicate. I had actually originally planned on starting it last night, and then Sam and I impromptu went and saw a Broadway show that he got tickets for. But so I went and watched the intro video last night when I was on the subway, and she actually had it where you were supposed to watch that intro video on January 1st and then start with day 1 on January 2nd. So at first I thought I was going to be annoyed that I am starting day 1 on March 2nd and it wasn't going to match the dates, but that's how she did it, so I think it's going to be fine. The first one today, though, was really long. It's 45, 50 minutes. After that, they're 30 minutes tops. So this one, I'm giving myself a whole hour to get through the first one. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get started. And normally, I do want to do these at night. I kind of want it to be a relaxing wind down before I do my nighttime shower face routine. But today, we're going out with friends. So I'm not going to be able to do it at night. And I definitely want to start today. So I'm going to do it in the middle of the day. Plus, I'm not working out today. So it's also kind of my workout. Although I am not doing this yoga journey for working out. I'm still going to be working out my normal 5 days a week in addition to the yoga journey. This is, while I'm sure there will be fitness benefits to it, that is not my main priority. That is not my main focus. So I'm going to go read the email, because part of it too is you sign up for an email list, and then you get an email every day with some just words of wisdom that go with that day's video. So I'm going to go read the day 1 email that I actually got yesterday when I signed up, but I'm going to go read it now, and then I'm going to go do the first video. Yoga was great. It felt really long, and I understand why it was so long, because the program is really supposed to be for anybody, even if you've never done yoga before. So there was a lot of teaching of the terminology and moving really slowly in case you've never done anything like that before. So that's why it was so long. But it was still really nice to relax, and I'm glad that one was on a weekend, though, to be honest. I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I wouldn't have wanted to do that hour. It was 50 minutes on a weeknight. All right, time to get back on track with the rest of my day. Got a little derailed for a second because I just had to deal with something. Our plans tonight are changing, kind of. We were originally supposed to go to karaoke with Sam's cousin. I don't know who else was going. Sam just asked me if I wanted to do karaoke with Zach. That's his cousin. And I said, yeah, I love karaoke, and I don't have any plans Saturday night, so sure. So then he told me at 8, and then I kept asking him, when, what's the plans, and he kept, not telling me. And then he texted me, 20 minutes ago and was like, what about this? And I was like, wait, what? What's changing? I don't like when plans change last minute. I'm sure you can relate. And so we're still meeting at the same time, but now it's just drinks with his cousin and his cousin's girlfriend, I guess. I don't know. I still don't even know where. I still don't even have that much those plans. So happy Sunday morning. I ended up having a really productive day yesterday. I got 3 videos edited and uploaded yesterday. So that was awesome. And then we ended up meeting Sam's cousin and his girlfriend for drinks. They ended up coming to a place near us, which was super convenient. I appreciated that. I tried to capture a little bit of footage, but it was really dark in the bar that we were at, but I really liked it. It was like a cocktail bar, but it was dark. It was just really cozy, and it was a good atmosphere and noise level for us to chat, which was really nice. So we got to catch up with them, and then this morning we relaxed a little bit, and now I'm headed to a coffee shop. I mentioned this in my goals video, but I am starting the productivity boot camp with Jordan Page, and you do it on your own. It's not like, I mean, she's the instructor, but you do it on your own. And so it's once a week for 6 weeks, and I decided that I'm going to go to a coffee shop near my apartment to like sort of motivate myself, get out of the apartment a little bit, some fresh air, nice cup of coffee. So that is where I'm headed right now. I'm really excited to start it, and I will definitely let you know how it goes. Okay, it is Sunday night. I did not vlog anything today, mostly because I was just being super productive and my phone was playing Pandora, and I was trying to not touch it because I know that as soon as I touch it, I fall down a social media rabbit hole. And so I was trying to just let it be and let it be the music. And I didn't want to pick it up and set it up to film and then start scrolling through Instagram. So I just let it be, but I had a very productive Sunday. And actually the things that I had on my list didn't take me as much time as I had intended, which is good and bad. So the good news is I got all of it done. The bad news is I did not productively fill that empty space. So, I think having an overstuffed to-do list has its pros and cons, right? The cons are you have a list that's way longer than you're probably going to actually be able to get done. And you may end up feeling defeated at the end of the day, and you don't get all the things done. But the pros to that is you never have this empty time. So I had a little bit of empty time today that I probably could have done something more productive with. But instead, I sat on my butt. I watched a YouTube video. I decided to repaint my nails. I didn't make a good use. It was like an hour-ish that I didn't make good use of. I had about 2 hours, just over 2 hours of extra time. Crazy. And I finally got up off the couch and then and did some things and was productive for about 45 minutes. And now it's 8:45. And I'm going to start my yoga a little bit earlier tonight because it's a little bit longer than half hour. It's like 35, 39, 35. It's one of those two. So I'm going to start it now so that I can be done by 9:30 so I can start my evening routine at 9:30, which is what I have been doing. And now I'm just kind of bumping it up to start at 9 so I can add in this yoga. So I'm excited. I have a little bit of a headache that I haven't been able to shake. I tried food, I tried water. I don't really know what's going on. So I'm sorry I didn't bring you along for any of the exciting things I did today, including cleaning out the kitchen, some deep cleaning of some kitchen areas. I didn't obviously get the whole kitchen done, but the kitchen is my focus for March. And so I did the pantry. I did the buckets on top of the pantry. I did the fridge. I did this on top of the fridge, which is not a lot of stuff, but I took it off and wiped it down. And then I did under the sink, which is my mortal enemy. Under the sink is my least favorite spot in my apartment to keep organized. It never stays clean. So if you have any under the sink tips, I would be happy to take them. I have it in a good space now, but it won't last. That's just how it goes. So next weekend I'm tackling the cabinets. I don't have that many cabinets. I mean, I live in New York, but they're a disaster. But I'm going to set aside a huge chunk of time next weekend and just get through those cabinets. I'm already dreading it. I should not dread something that is 7 days away. Anyways, it was very productive. And then I prepped a bunch of food for the week. So I cut up some fruit, portioned out the dairy that I buy in bulk, not bulk, but I buy a tub of cottage cheese and a tub of yogurt and I put it into little individual portions. I cut up some celery and I hung out with Sam a little bit. I thought he was gonna be gone all day, but he had a 2-hour chunk in the middle of the afternoon between two different things. And he came home and he was going to prep food at the same time. Probably should have communicated more about that. Honestly, I thought he was going to be gone the whole day, and then he came home and impromptu decided to prep food. So we were cooking food together. He was cooking some rice and some chicken and some vegetables to have for the week, and I was prepping my snacks to go with my Jenny Craig. So it was kind of nice to be in the kitchen together a little bit. So that was pretty much all of my day. So now it's time to wrap it up, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to work. It's supposed to snow all night, but it's supposed to stop at 7 a.m. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. They're already freaking out. So normally I have my cleaning service on the first Monday of the month, and they emailed and they were like, if New York City Public Schools cancel school, we're going to cancel our services. So if you want to reschedule, let me know now. And I was like, well, fine. I'll go ahead and reschedule to a different day so that I don't like it not being scheduled. Like, I want it to be scheduled. So I moved it to Wednesday so that I don't have to worry about it. But again, I think it'll be done snowing, plenty of time to get to school and work and all the things. Nothing like getting home after a long Monday where I had 0 meetings, 0. So it was just me and my desk all day. It was just a long day. But I got that standing desk, which you saw, which was exciting. And I also got all those new Erin Condren desk accessories. Basically, I'm addicted to the hexagon pattern. But a lot of those things, they are discontinuing. So the mouse pads and the file folders are being discontinued. So they're on sale on the website. As of the time I'm filming this, they're still there. So if you're interested in any of those products, they're also discontinuing the oversized totes, which I love. I have 2 of them. I have it in the mid-century circles and in the Texas pattern from the store. I really want to get the hexagon one, but I don't think I need 3 of them. But those are also being removed from the site. So just something to be aware of. I don't know. I haven't heard a date. I don't know how much longer they're going to be up there. But I just got home and I'm trying to ward off the kitty who just wants to sit on my lap. I have a new Rent the Runway package with 3 dresses. Did I get all dresses? Yeah. And so normally I would be like just super, I need to get them out and try them on and just make sure they fit and I don't need to take one back. But 2 of them I've already ordered before, so I know that those fit. So I need to try the one that I ordered that was new and just make sure that it fits. And then I actually haven't unpacked any of my stuff from work yet, and there's some dishes to do, and here is what I'm gonna do while I do those. So we talked last week about how reading a finance book is not working for me. And I want to learn more and work on my financial knowledge. And I thought that books were going to be the way to do that. And so my plan was on Mondays, we were going to do Money Monday because I love a good alliteration. And I was going to read a finance book instead of my normal nonfiction book in the mornings. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. And so I asked for your help. And a lot of you said, I got a lot of recommendations to audiobooks, that it's just better to do them audiobook format. And then I also got a lot of recommendations for podcasts. And because I've been sort of getting into podcasts in general, I'm going to try that route first. There were 3 podcast recommendations. And so what I'm going to do today is listen to the intro of all 3. For 2 of the 3, the intro is really short. It's like 10 minutes or less, and then one of them is like 30. But I'm going to listen to all 3 intros today and decide which one really feels like it is better for me. Like, you know, is there something about the voice, or just is there something about it that feels better for me? So I'm going to listen to those while I sort of unpack my stuff, tidy up a little bit, do the dishes. If I'm still listening and I haven't quite finished all of that, I'm going to work on my sticker organization. I actually started doing it over the weekend. I didn't talk about that or film that because Sam was here with me while I was doing it, while we were watching Game of Thrones, both on Friday night and Saturday night and Saturday morning and Sunday morning. We like sat here and watched Game of Thrones. I started messing with my stickers, and I decided that instead of just, I was gonna make a list. Like I was gonna list all the categories that I currently had and the binders that I had, and then figure out where everything should go and buy the supplies that I need. And I decided to just get started because that was going to be better. So I started out by just like sorting all the stickers that I had in like, because I had a couple different piles and whatnot. And I did not sit down to talk about this, but I'm going to finish telling you about it. And then I just started. I just started figuring out what made sense to me. I took things step by step, and now the 2 big tasks that I have left, which, I mean, it's the majority of it, but I feel like I'm finally in a good place to at least start the process. One is moving the stuff from my big binders into small binders. and I've emptied out a lot of my small binders in this like organization process, so that will help. And then taking kits and breaking them down and adding them into their respective categories instead of being leftover kits, not like kits I haven't used yet. So all that to say, I finally feel like I'm getting a grasp on my sticker organization. And so if I am still listening to the podcasts and while I'm done with all the other things I want to do, then I'm going to just sit down and work on that while I listen to it. So both of those things I think really encompass my word of the year this week, but specifically I was really going to give myself credit for the podcast one. And I'm going to pick a podcast that I think it will work for me, and then I'll start listening to it. I think I'm going to stick with Money Mondays, and I think what I'm going to do, and we'll really test it out next week, is I'm going to listen to my money podcasts on the subway on Mondays to and from work. And that will be, normally I watch YouTube on the subways. That's when I catch up on my channels that I'm subscribed to. Anyways, that was a lot of rambling. I'm going to go listen to these 3 podcast intros and do all those things that I said I was going to do. Okay, that actually took less time than I thought it was going to. I picked one. It was actually pretty easy. So one of them, the one that had the longest intro, it wasn't 30, it was only 20 minutes. I couldn't even get through the intro. I listen/watch things, most everything, at 1.5 speed. I always watch YouTube at 1.5, and I listen to podcasts at 1.5. And pretty much I haven't found somebody that talks too fast that it doesn't work for me. So I had it set at 1.5, and she had so many ums and ahs and whatnot. I couldn't make it through. And then the other thing that really turned me off about it was she spent like a good chunk of the beginning talking about the things that she felt deprived of in her childhood that has forced her to look at money the way she has. And while I appreciate the honesty, it also just felt really negative towards her parents. Like it just felt, I don't know, it felt bad for her parents if they were listening to it, and it just made me uncomfortable. So that one was easy. The other one that was be my second choice, I didn't love her voice. It was really a little bit more high pitched, and the intro was really short. So I actually started listening to the first episode to try and get a feel for it, which happened to be with Gretchen Rubin, who I adore. And so I liked it, but I think it was because it was Gretchen Rubin. So I think I'm going to save that one for if I want to go back and listen to one based on the specific person that she's interviewing, I will go listen to it. But I'm not listening to it for the host, where there are podcasts that I have found that I really like that I will listen to no matter who they're interviewing because I just really like the host. So that one is not like a hard no, but the one that I am going with, I liked better. And I just felt like, first off, she did a really good job in her intro post. It was 12 minutes. It hooked me. She told me her story, which I felt like I really related to in a lot of ways. She lives in New York. She worked in financial services and then decided to go out on her own. And I don't know, there was a lot about her that I really liked, and I liked her voice, and I started scrolling through some of her topics, and it just seems very interesting. So the one that I'm going with is Martinis and Your Money. So whoever recommended that, thank you for recommending it. I am excited to start listening, and maybe I'll end up doing it on more than just Mondays. But for now, I am just going to plan on listening to one episode of her podcast, depending on the length. If I can get through more than one to and from work. If it's a super long one, I didn't actually look at the times really on hers. I just scrolled through the topics. If it's a super long episode and I can't even get through it during both commutes, then I will finish it at home. Let me go look at the links before I start making comments. Okay, so a lot of her podcasts are about an hour. It's like 50 minutes to an hour. So it should fit perfectly in my to and from work. I should be able to get through one episode. Sometimes, depending on the trains, my commute can be a little bit faster than 30 minutes. So if I get home and I have not finished the episode on Monday, I will just finish it at home. And so the goal will be one episode a week on Mondays. And she has a lot. So I wouldn't even finish this year if I did it once a week for the rest of the year. So we're going to finish it for March, and then we'll see what happens, which at this point, I guess I'll do 4 episodes. Good morning. I have a question for you. For those of you that watch Plan With Me's, I have a question. I want to start by telling you that when it comes to doing stuff with my channel or videos that I film or whatever, I am very conscious to only do things that I would watch. I don't want to, how do I say this? I just don't feel comfortable, or I don't want to do content that I wouldn't myself want to watch. So I always keep that in mind when I choose content, when I film videos, when I edit videos, etc. So when it comes to Plan With Me, is one of the really common things that I see a lot of people do is have the music on in the background, like the whole time, running the whole time. And then they will increase the volume if they're not talking, and then decrease the volume when they are talking. And I have never done that because I don't particularly enjoy it. When I watch a Plan With Me, I don't like the music there in the background when they're talking. It's distracting. It's not that I can't hear what they're saying. You can hear perfectly fine. I'm just distracted. However, when I was editing last night, I was thinking how convenient it would be if I had the music going the whole time, because it felt like there were a lot of moments where I could have used music for like 5 seconds or like 7 seconds. And it seems weird and like a bit much to pull in a clip of music for 7 seconds. But I don't want to cut out that part of the video. Sometimes I do. Sometimes if I like stop talking for 5 to 7 seconds, I will just cut that part out. Whether I'm like laying down a sticker or writing something, I will just cut that part out of the Plan With Me. And I don't necessarily want to do that either. So these were my thoughts last night while I was editing my Plan With Me. I was thinking it would be kind of nice if I did that. But so let me know what you think. How do you feel about that? Is it something that you really despise? Like you can't stand it when there's music on in the background? And maybe not something like me. I don't prefer it, but I won't not watch the video. That makes sense. I'll still watch it if it has music on in the background. Or do you like it? Do you actually like when they have the light music going on in the background while they're talking? Or do you not care? Are you just indifferent to it? So let me know, and it's something I might consider. Again, it depends on the Plan With Me. Some of them it doesn't even matter because I don't have any time that I'm not talking because I'm just blabbing the whole time. But sometimes it might be kind of nice, but again, it's not something that I like. So just let me know what you think. Thank you. I'm not gonna do my yoga tonight. My body is so tired. I'm just tired. My back kind of hurts a little bit. My body's tired, and I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm not gonna do yoga tonight. And that means that I'm gonna be off a day, and my 30-day challenge will go into April, but I am totally okay with that. I feel like truly this year I've just gotten into a good mindset where that's okay. Like, it is better for me to listen to my body and take a break tonight, and then when Sam gets home, like hang out with him for a little bit, than it is to push myself just to check a box and then regret it tomorrow. So at first I was thinking, oh, my body hurts, maybe I'll skip my workout tomorrow and just take a rest day. And then I was like, and that was like on my way home. And then my freaking Uber, so I Uber pool here in the city where you like share with other people, but he dropped me off 3 blocks from my apartment. And I was like, that is far. That's when you have 2 Trader Joe's bags and 2 Jenny Craig bags, like that's not close. And so I was already thinking about how much my body hurt, and then I had to walk 3 blocks with my heavy groceries, and then I was mad again. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do it tonight. That way I can relax and unpack and eat dinner, and then I'm gonna go take my bath, my bubble bath, gonna take my book, and then when Sam gets home, I can just relax and hang out with him and be all wound down. Is that a phrase? I'll be all unwind. I don't know. Like, you know how you say I'm gonna wind down? What's the like past of that? Grammar is not my strong suit. Okay, I have this at a weird angle, so hopefully you can see the sky. It is like this beautiful dark blue. I don't know if I just never noticed the color of the sky during the evening, but like it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know. You know what I mean? When there's like a clear blue sky during the day and it's like this bright blue and there's not a cloud in the sky and it's just gorgeous. That's what it's like right now, except it's dark and like deep. Oh my God, it's just so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling about the sky. I did not hop on yesterday because I had my monthly cleaning service. And so by the time I get home from work, I'm like frantically trying to like eat dinner and change clothes before they get there. And then they're there for 2.5 hours. And then by the time they're done, I'm ready to like settle and be done for the evening. So I did things, but I'm not gonna film while they're there because that I just don't feel comfortable doing it. So it is Thursday, and I just worked out at the office after work. I don't mind doing the evening class on Thursdays because it's the same class I would have gone to during lunch, so I feel like I'm still doing my normal class and making my normal progress, whereas the other days in the evening it's a different class. So that was good. And today at work was like just a roller coaster. So I ended up starting the day off at the doctor's office at just getting an annual checkup, and partially it's for a couple of reasons. Partially is Jen Ross on one of her videos talked about going to a general practitioner in addition to going to your annual gynecologist, which I have done consistently since I started, but I haven't gone ever since I turned 18. I have just considered that my annual checkup, and I haven't ever gone to or not a real doctor, they're real doctors, but you know what I mean. I never went for a normal checkup because they take my vitals and I figured it was enough. But honestly, I have never had my blood tested, which is crazy. I talked about this during my goals video, and so I felt like one of the things I needed to do this year was to get my blood work done. Everything should be okay. My dad does suffer from high cholesterol. My mom does not. She has like perfect cholesterol, so I am at risk for that. So we'll see. That's the only one I'm kind of nervous about. But anyways, so my office does have a doctor's office in the basement, which is really nice. And I've only ever used it to go get my flu shot. But I was like, I'm just gonna go see the doctor down there. And they had availability the next day. Well, actually on Tuesday, I tried to make it for Wednesday afternoon, and then they called and they were like, you have to fast before you get blood work done. So are you sure you don't want this to be in the morning? I was like, oh, okay. So Thursday morning I did. So I moved it to this morning so that I didn't have to fast all day yesterday. So I started the doctor, and it was pretty good. I mean, everything, obviously I don't have my blood work back, but everything else she said was good and it was normal. We had a little talk about BMI, which I saw that coming. It's fine. I'm working on it. And then work itself was, again, a roller coaster. There were some things that just went terribly wrong. Most of them were not my fault, but I had to have really serious conversations with people about things that got messed up, and it was not very fun. Okay, I always try not to immediately sit when I get home, but I had to finish telling you the story. So anyways, I had to be the bearer of bad news a lot at work today for stuff that I didn't even do wrong, but I had to tell other people that it went wrong, and it wasn't fun. It was not fun. But some other things went really well at work today. I got assigned a new project now the project itself I'm not that excited about, but it's a lot of ownership, and I started making a project plan, and I think if I can do this well and execute it well and own this project really, I am owning it, but there's a lot of moving pieces involved. But if I can get it executed well, I think it'll just be really, really good for the business, but for me too. And then I also had a conversation with my manager today about our annual bonuses. They have to sit us down and tell us here's your bonus for the year and here's why it is what it is. And it was good. Conversation was good. Bonus is good. And when I get my bonus next week, even after all of the taxes and all the things, I will be able to pay off all of my debt. So we will celebrate a little bit more next week when that happens, because right now it's not done, but it's coming. And I'm so excited. And then I finished it off with a workout, which I was dreading. And it was reminding me, I started reading The Power of Habit, that book, and how once you take the decision-making out of things, it is so much easier to do it once it becomes a habit and you're not thinking about it. And that's what working out at lunch has become for me. But I had a lunch today. That's why I didn't work out during lunch. When I'm not making a decision, it's literally at 11:55, I get up, I lock my computer, and I go to the gym. It's so easy. But having to at 4:55 be all right, you need to start getting your things together and think about going down to the gym for the class. And it takes a lot more personal motivation and a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline. It takes a lot more discipline to do it when it's not a habit and you have to make a decision about it. So I am really excited about that. And then I feel like there's something else I was going to tell you. Just realized that I never stopped my watch from my workout. So it says that I have been working out for 78 minutes. And I burned 434 calories. That's not true. I guess I burned them walking home from commuting on the subway. I remember what the last thing I was going to tell you was. It is about the yoga that I've been doing every night, except for Tuesday. Otherwise, I've done it every night since it started. And And okay, so first off, I didn't love the first couple. They were very long, and she was sort of treating it as if you didn't know as much about yoga. I mean, you clearly had to have some idea of yoga poses because she doesn't necessarily explain downward dog. Like, she just says go to downward dog, but then there's some aspects of it that she really like takes the time to explain. So the first couple were kind of long, in my opinion. I mean, they were long and they felt long. Like, I got a little bit bored. And so I was kind of struggling with it. But now they're definitely a more reasonable length of time for my attention span and just for my time in general. But one of the things that I'm kind of changing a little bit, I mean, I haven't really done it yet, but I was thinking about it as I was walking home. And that is, I don't want to wait until like it is time to wind down to do the yoga. And I think that I thought that was a good idea because I was going to focus on the, relaxation and being away from electronics, even though I'm watching it on my computer. However, that time, like right before bed, that's usually my only Sam time. That is whether we are just chatting, or most of the time he's like eating dinner that late because that's when he gets home from work, or we're watching an episode of something, or we're just, being together. Like, that is my Sam time. And he made that clear when I was like, okay, it's time to turn off Game of Thrones because I need to do the yoga. Or he got home from work on Monday night and I was like just wrapping up editing and I was like, all right, I'm ready to do yoga. And he was like, oh, we're not going to watch Game of Thrones? And I was like, no. And I get it. Like, to go from having this being our only time during the day. I mean, we see each other in the morning, but this is our only like real time for me to just kind of take that away to do my own thing. I get that. I get where he's coming from. So what I think I'm going to do instead, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to try both depending on the evening and then see how it works. So depending on what I'm doing in the evening, if I am doing a multitude of things, like if I'm going to be changing my activities, I'm going to do my yoga as soon as I get home. And I think that it can still serve the purpose of unwinding and relaxing and just be that transition between work and home. And it will force me to change out of my work clothes right away. It'll force me to like get moving and not just sit on the couch like I'm doing now. But in general, it will just, I think it will still serve its purpose of a daily yoga practice, even though I'm not doing it first thing in the morning or like right before bed. I don't know why in my head I feel like that's when they need to be. Or if I'm going to do something for a long period of time. So for example, on Monday, I edited for 3 hours straight. Literally. I mean, I took like a 10-minute break to make dinner and then I brought dinner back to my desk. I edited my plan with me for 3 hours straight. If the plan is to do one activity for the whole evening, then I'm going to take a break and do yoga in the middle right before I eat dinner. So for example, on Monday night when I came home, I got home at my usual 5:30, 5:40, and then I unpacked and settled in and whatever, and I literally sat down at my desk at 6 and started editing. If that was the case, I am going to power hour edit from 6 to 7, stop, yoga 7 to 7:30, and then eat dinner, and then get back to editing. Now, that may mean that I don't finish, like I finish a little bit later, or if I'm not editing something that has to be done that night, which I'm trying really hard not to have that be the situation right now, then I will stop when Sam gets home and then focus on Sam, or I'll go a little bit into the night, but at least like editing, not really editing, but depending on what I'm doing, I kind of like multitask and chat with him while I'm doing it. Anyways, so I'm going to play it by ear on whether I want to do it right when I get home or whether I want to take a break. Tonight's kind of hard because on one hand, I wanted to do it like right when I got home as like my break, but I'm also like, I just worked out. I'm kind of tired. So I might do one thing and then yoga and then do another thing until Sam gets home. Although he said he's going to be home later tonight. And I guess, if Sam's going to be home after I'm asleep, then I can just do it right before bed and forget it. And I think I struggle with, let me know if you struggle with this too, when I do these sort of daily habits, things that I want to do every single day, I personally feel like I have to do them at the same time every day. Like if it's going to happen every day, it's going to happen at the same time every day. But maybe that's not necessarily the case. Maybe I don't have to do it at the exact same time every single day to make it a daily habit. Like working out's a daily habit Monday through Friday, and I was totally okay moving that to 5:15. So maybe it would be okay if I move my yoga around between like right when I get home or in the middle or right before bed, depending on what my evening plans are. Or heck, maybe I am moving into the morning some days. Like I haven't encountered yet a day where I have plans right after work and I don't get home until 9:30, or I get home and I've had a drink or two and I'm not going to do yoga then. So like, what about those days? Do I just not yoga that day, or do I try to do it earlier in the day? This has turned into a huge ramble about me trying to figure out when the best time of day to do yoga is. I really don't want to do it in the morning. I know that like seems like the best option. I'm really, like I said in my goals video, I like my morning routine. I like it. It works for me right now, and I really don't want to shake that up with yoga, but it's an option. I guess I can explore. If moving it in the evening isn't working either, then maybe I need to try it in the morning and see what happens. I don't know. So the light bulbs are out of my kitchen, and changing those light bulbs is like my least favorite pastime. So we're just going to makeshift this. This is the lamp that's usually in the living room, and I'm just going to like scooch it into the kitchen a little bit and just use that for now because, again, I don't really want to mess with the lights. Look how high up it is. I either have to like stand on the counter and weirdly balance, or even if I get the stool, so I have this like this 3-step stool, I'm still like not quite tall enough. And I don't have light bulbs. So A, we need light bulbs, and B, I need to ask Sam to change the light bulbs. Sick of my face yet? I feel like this vlog is like all my face. I have something else to tell you. So I'm pretty sure this happened on my favorites video where I talked about reading, but whoever recommended By the Book podcast is my favorite person. I am obsessed with it. So no, you know what? Actually, the recommendation may have come. I don't know. I finished Pick 3 by Randy Zuckerberg, and I'll talk about my feelings maybe another time if you're really interested in my thoughts on it. But somebody mentioned, maybe it was on Instagram, I don't know, that the podcast By the Book reviewed Pick 3 and that I should go read it and I should go listen to it and just see what they said. And so I did. I just went to their Pick 3 episode. I didn't even listen to the intro. I just skipped right to it, and I really liked it. So now I'm starting at the beginning, and I have listened to their reviews of The Secret. It's 2 women, and so The Secret, one really liked and one really hated. Although it was funny because she recommended it because she saw how much impact it had on her friend. So that was really cool. And then they did The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which they did it like over 2 years ago, and now that book is like, all the rage. Anyways, so now I'm listening to the one where they talk about French girls don't get fat or something like that. I forget what the title of the book is. Anyways, so thank you to whoever recommended that podcast because I'm loving it. Okay. I said I was going to do one thing before I did my yoga, and that is to finish planning out my week, both tonight and tomorrow, and then the weekend. I need to do a little bit of work on that. And I'm not going to do all of it on camera because this is a vlog, not a plan with me, but I wanted to talk about something before I jumped into this because it is something that I did not realize in my plan with me. Somebody in the comments said, how are you dealing with the workout stickers being 2 hours? And then this little light bulb in my head went off. And I opened up my planner and realized that I didn't even realize that when I was planning. So for the workouts that I do during lunch, it is taking up 2 hours, but I'm not looking at this as hours. I'm looking at this block as what I'm doing during lunch. And whether that's a workout sticker or whether that's something that I'm actually doing, this is the lunch block. But if I work out in the evenings or on the weekends, it's a little bit different because I'm obviously not working out for 2 hours. This class was only 30 minutes and this class is an hour, but it definitely isn't going to be 2 hours. So for the evenings, when I do work out, it's just also going to include this commute and unpack because the likelihood is after I work out, I will need to commute and then unpack. So I'm going to take off these 2 stickers, this commute and unpack sticker. I'm going to try to do it with one hand. Just stick it over there on today and tomorrow. Thank you to the person who commented. You literally found 2 hours back in my week that I didn't know I had. So I actually have 2 hours tonight to do whatever I want to do. And part of that is I'm going to finish planning. I'm going to use 1 hour to do that. And then the other hour, I haven't actually decided yet what I'm going to do with it. And then tomorrow I have an hour that I didn't know I had. Okay, and then if I'm working on the weekends, I'm just going to use one of these 2-hour stickers, because if I'm working on the weekends, I'm going to a studio. And I usually try and stay within my neighborhood, but it could still be anywhere from a 5 to a 15-minute walk. And so I usually leave about a half hour before my class. And my class is usually an hour, and then I usually get home probably 15 minutes. It's probably cumulative like an hour 45, but we're being close. So if the class, for example, was at 6, I would actually on the weekend put it starting at 5:30 because I need to commute to that class.
Tara, kill the music, Tara. No. All right, let's go. Team Captains, we have Brian.
We didn't get the other team introduction.
Welcome to the Family Feud. Two great families here today. I would, first question. We surveyed 100 people and asked them, name a living thing that scares people.
Wait, what?
You have to say it!
Oh my God.
Rattlesnakes.
Oh wait, it's a different question.
We asked 100 people, name a living thing that scares people. Mouse.
Oh.
Wow. Having a dramatic pause. Name a living thing that scares people. My girlfriend.
What?
Name something an angry wife might use her husband's toothbrush to clean.
Toilet.
Besides a ball, name something you can catch.
Cold.
Name a phrase that begins with hold your.
Horses.
What do you call someone who is careful with money?
Frugal.
How many pairs of pants does the average man own?
4.
Name something which person's full name is used.
Driver's license.
It's Friday and I am headed to a workout class. I had a meeting today during lunch. Scheduled a meeting at noon. People in Kansas City, that's who. So I couldn't go to my lunchtime class, so I signed up for a class at a studio called Broadway Bodies. I have been at the studio before. I've actually shown this studio before in a vlog during Vlogmas. And they're usually known for their cardio dance classes, typically to Broadway music, but they have definitely ventured out into other more pop music too. But that's like what they're really known for. But I have taken a stretch class here before. It was like a 45-minute stretch class. Today, the class I signed up for that I just saw, I was literally just browsing ClassPass's website for like a Friday afternoon, evening class, because I figured I would be better off kind of like not forcing, but like going to work out Friday after work than trying to do it Saturday or Sunday. And there's not more studio options by my office, but some studios that I like, there's options by my office. So anyways, the class I found for today is 30 minutes of cardio, dance cardio, and 30 minutes of stretching. And I was like, that sounds like the perfect end of week class. Like it sounds great to get my heart rate up, sweat it out a little bit, and then just stretch it out. So no, I forgot to stop at the drugstore and get light bulbs. So the light in my kitchen's still out, and I'm just gonna use this lamp, and it's gonna have to do because I need to cook some vegetables. But I got 2 things in the mail today. One is my new passport. I talked about this in my goals. My passport was completely and totally expired. Like if I needed to leave the country, I wouldn't have been able to. It expired in November, but I sent it back. I don't remember when last month was part of my February goals, but it's already back. So I am good to go for India. And then the other thing I got, it's just from Amazon, and it's So it's just the like mini page protectors that I get for the mini sticker binders. And since I'm moving all of my stuff from the big binders to the small binders, last night I was doing it while we were watching Game of Thrones, and I was like, I'm gonna run out of those pretty quickly. So this was like 9 p.m. last night. So I got on Amazon to order them, and it said Saturday delivery, and I was like, wow, even that is faster than 2 days. I was thinking since it was already 9 p.m. on Thursday, it was actually going to give me Sunday delivery. And then it showed up today. Like, I mean, I know Amazon's fast, they're spoiling us. Oh, I really should do the dishes, but But I don't want to because there's no light in here. It's so dark. Okay, but I'm gonna cook food because I'm freaking starving. So I talked about these in the favorites video, but these are the carrot noodles from Trader Joe's and I'm obsessed with them. And my Jenny Craig meal tonight is chicken carbonara. I'm not gonna say that right. So it's a pasta dish. I mean, the serving size is very small. And so what I do is I cook the carrot noodles and I add it to my pasta dish, which A, makes it bigger, and B, gets my vegetable in, and there's always enough sauce to cover it up. So what I'll do is I'll cook the entire carrot box, which is actually 4 servings, then I'll portion them out and use them for all the pasta dishes that I have later this week. There's usually, I'm trying to think, there's not like a pasta dish every day. It's probably like every other day or every 3 days. Like I had one yesterday, was macaroni. Today is the chicken carbonara. Let's see what else is in my fridge. We have, let's see, tacos, Salisbury steak, meatloaf, mac and cheese, another mac and cheese. You can't even see that because it's so freaking dark in here. I don't know. There's a spaghetti in here, and then there's a creamy penne with vegetables. So there's a couple more pasta dishes in there that I can use the carrots for the rest of the week. Okay, I know the lighting for all that was terrible. I apologize. I'm gonna go get light bulbs tomorrow. Or Sam's gonna go get light bulbs tomorrow. I wanted to touch on one thing. I would love to wait for Sam to come home to eat dinner together. I would love that. But the truth is, most days, I am starving by the time that I get home, especially if I like just worked out. And he doesn't get home usually until after 9. And one of the aspects of Jenny Craig is they want you to eat within a 12-hour window. So it's sort of like intermittent fasting, but it's a very like subdued, easy beginner way of doing it where it's just 12 hours. I eat breakfast at like 7:30 or 8. So I need to be done eating dinner by 7:30 or 8 to be within my 12 hours. So I can't really wait for him to come home. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll eat my dinner and then I will, depending on what time he's going to get home, I will save my like dessert Jenny Craig snack thing for when he gets home, and then I'll have that with him while he's eating his dinner. Or I'll just sit here with him when he eats his dinner and we'll chat or watch an episode of something or whatnot. I just want to touch on that because I feel like I have gotten that question, or I am anticipating that question. So anyways, my food's probably still not even cool, but I am going to close out this week's weekly vlog here because I am going to eat my dinner and then I'm going to do some yoga, and then probably by that time Sam will be home, and I just don't want to close out the vlog when he's here. So that is going to be the end of this week's weekly vlog. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. Hello, welcome back to the start. I'm gonna sit up so it's a little bit cuter. There we go. Charlie, this is not a good look. Can you not sit there, please? Nobody wants to look at your back. There's a cat hair in my eyeball. She does not understand the concept of personal space. These were my thoughts last night while I was what's the word, Charlie? Why can't I think of what the word is? Don't look at me like that. So, my brain is not working. But I was thinking about it as I was reviewed the review. But when I work out on the evenings. But if I work out in the weekend, oh my God, I can't even talk. And what are the words?